delegation from the West African College of Physicians. We are delighted to have you here this morning. And as our agenda stated, we also believe that everything starts and ends with God. So let me invite all of us to stand up and say the prayer. In our university, the God of all creation, direct and noble cause, to grow and live in justice and truth. To be the nation. Amen. You have your seat. The next item is introduction. Let me turn to the officer in the office of our public relation office to do the introduction.
West African College of Physicians, once again welcome to the University of Medical Sciences, UNIMED Ondo. I have the approval of the Vice Chancellor to introduce to you the eggheads of the university. Starting with the Vice Chancellor himself, permit me to introduce to you the Vice Chancellor, who is Professor of Public Health and also that of Community Medicine. He is the head of this university, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Adeshegun Olayiwola Fatusi, FAS. Let me also warmly introduce and recognize on this occasion the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic of the university. I would say she is the #1 woman in the university. She is actually a professor of molecular and cellular parasitology, Professor Rose Angela I. Umba. Permit me also to warmly recognize and welcome on this occasion the Registrar of the university, Dr. Woliola J. Ekundayo, unavoidably absent. He is among the principal officers at Abuja, on his way down here, but ably and well represented on this occasion by the Deputy Registrar, Governing Council and Administration of the University, in person of Mr. Ezekiel Moliayo Adeniro. A round of applause for him. Thank you very much. Permit me also to warmly recognize and welcome other heads of the various departments in the university. Let me start with the Dean of the School of Public Health, who is actually the Dean of, or the Chairman Committee of Deans of the university, in person of Professor Wasiu Olalekan Adebimpe. Permit me also to warmly recognize and welcome on this occasion the Director, Institute of Advanced Clinical Sciences Education of the university, in person of Professor Leroy Edoze. We also have on this occasion the Director for the Center for Health Profession and Biomedical Education of the university, in person of Professor Kayode Oshungbade. Let me also welcome the Chairman of the University Research Committee, in person of Professor Oluwafemi Kuti. Just coming in, we have our father, the person I describe as a grandpa for the public health in Nigeria, is the Dean for the postgraduate programs of the university, Professor Michael Chimeze Asuzu. Welcome, sir. Permit me, Mr. Vice Chancellor, to also warmly recognize and welcome on this occasion the Deputy Director, Institute of Advanced Clinical Sciences Education of the university, Dr. Oluseyi Adejumo. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, that should be the, just before I finish with that of the university, let me also warmly recognize the Principal Legal Officer of the university in person of Barrister Samuel Olamide Adeloye, Esquire. Welcome, sir. That should be the size of the recognition for now from the side of the university. The Dean of Dental Sciences of the university is here, Professor Ezekiel Taiwo Adebayo. Welcome, sir. Next is that of our guests, physicians. A round of applause for Dr. Lukoba.
Good morning, sir. Our chief host, the Vice Chancellor, the principal officers of University of Medical Sciences, Ondo. Permit me to stand on already established protocol. I want to humbly introduce those of us on the path of the West African College of Physicians, Nigerian chapter. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, to your immediate left is Dr. Jeremiah Aboy Madaki, is the West African College of Physicians, Nigerian chapter chairman and college vice president. He's a professor of family medicine from the University of Jos. To my immediate right is the West African College of Physicians, Nigerian chapter national secretary. Dr. Lateef Taiwo Sheikh is a professor of psychiatry. To my immediate left is Dr. Adeola Fowotade, a medical microbiologist and associate professor from the University of Ibadan and UCH. My humble self, I have consistently used a terminology, and people made fun of me yesterday, so I won't use that terminology this morning. My humble self, I'm Abdul Fatai Bamidele Olukoba. I'm a professor of medicine from the University of Ilorin and University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital. I'm the chairman of the committee on the implementation of PhD for the West African College of Physicians Nigerian chapter. Thank you very much, sir.
Dr. Lukoba, thank you very much, sir, for helping me out with that. Next is the welcome address and opening remarks of the Vice Chancellor. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Adesegun Fatuse.
Good morning, everyone. It's so good to see everyone this morning. Let me start by discussing the protocol that has been so well established by the duo of the PRO and Professor Bamidele Olukoba this morning.
Our team in Unimed for the groundwork that have led us to today, and let me quickly recognize again the DVC academic, Professor Sangela Nwoba, who had traveled all the way from Ibadan this morning just to be sure she can be with us. The registrar is still out there getting a new flight this morning, and I'm glad that the deputy registrar, who is in charge of our council affairs, Mr. Ezekiel Adeniro, is here with us this morning. I welcome all my other colleagues in the university, our wonderful deans, Dean of School of Public Health, who is the Dean of Deans, the Dean of Postgraduate School, the Dean of Faculty of Dental Sciences, the Vice Dean of the Faculty of Clinical Sciences. I also welcome our directors. We have a director of the Institute of the Host Institute, Institute of the Advanced Clinical Science Education, and the director of the Institute of the Center for Health Professional Education. Because we have a policy in this university. If you join this university, you must go through pedagogy to start before you can start teaching in our university. It doesn't matter how long you have been teaching. And the center ensures that everyone will take an online course before we sign you off to start teaching. And I want to thank and welcome all our administrative staff, the senior assistant registrars in the Vice Chancellor's office, the PRO office, the principal legal advisor. And I want to sincerely welcome this morning. I'm struggling to pick my words because I am divided between three parties this morning. I'm proudly a member of the family in West African College of Physicians. As a fellow of the college, I'm glad to welcome my president and our president, Professor Jeremiah Madaki, on this occasion. Thank you, sir, for all you are doing. I also want to welcome the secretary of our college, the Nigerian chapter, our friend and brother, Professor Sheikh, Taiwo Sheikh. Thank you very much, sir. It's also my pleasure to welcome my leaders in the PhD implementation committee of the subcommittee of the chapter, because I'm also a member of that committee. So that's how I'm divided into three. I don't know how I'll manage myself, but I think that's how I'm sitting right in the middle. So I can, let me welcome my friend and brother, Professor Bamidele Lokoba, who we've been together for several years now. And to welcome also Dr. Adeola for what I do. The powerful secretary, I must add that. No, one woman among the powerful secretary of the implementation committee. For us in the University of Medical Sciences, we take today as a very historic day for several reasons. As you know, we have signed an MoU with the West African College of Surgeons, and that started this journey. But one of the things that thrills us about this moment is that it's not just a moment for our university, it's a moment not also just for West African College of Physicians. It's a critical point, a watershed point in the professional education landscape in Nigeria. For many, many years, we've struggled with the issue of, for many years, we have struggled with the idea of PhD fellowship. And like I always tell people, there's no struggle. There's no struggle. There are two interconnected but distinct elements, and both of them being brought on board strengthens rather than weaken things. But that struggle has been on in our country because of who we are, and perhaps in our region. And today we have a very unique opportunity to begin to channel a new direction in terms of bringing a dimension of unity and collaboration between the pathway of fellowship and the pathway of PhD. We are proud of our history as Nigeria's first specialized and medical sciences university. And one of the things we keep on saying to ourselves is that historical positioning also means that we must be in the forefront of closing gaps where there are gaps. We must be in the forefront of opening pathways where we have bushes. I must be in the pathway of filling valleys that may exist in the landscape. And that has been our guiding principle as a university, and that's what has led us to this point. It may interest you, Sir Samar, that proudly we have in this university the first faculty of medical rehabilitation anywhere in West Africa. Because in the 70 year or thereabout history of medical education, everything we know about medical rehabilitation has been virtually limited to physiotherapy. But we know, like family medicine people will tell us, that increasingly there are people who have more hypertension and having stroke, and they will need some rehabilitation in terms of ability to speak. They will need a speech therapist. We know that with all that's happening around us, the whole issue about deafness is also increasing. Young people are using earphones and all of that. Earpiece anyhow. We know that people will need audiology. But in all our university life history as a country, we have not focused on that. We've just focused on who is talking about occupational therapy in our country. And one of the things we determined for ourselves is that that's part of the gap to close. And that's why we started the Faculty of Medical Rehabilitation that has 5 courses. There's no other university across West Africa that has more than 2 courses. The same spirit is what had led us to start a program, the first master's program in health law and policy, and the only one that exists in this country today. We started a PhD program that brings that together. Because we just see that there are so many gaps. And if you are a University of Medical Sciences, we must take seriously the entire field and see how we can drive that to a logical conclusion. Our commitment to advancing clinical science education beyond the clinical dimension, that is the richness we have in the fellowship. Of course, the academic dimension of the fellowship program is clear to us. If I'm a fellow, I must know what it takes. My supervisor is still in this room. Otherwise, Professor Suzu, like I said yesterday, supervised me in 1995 when I did my part 2. But we also know that PhD brings its own distinction and added benefit. And we also know the peculiarity of the people working in that field. That's why we started the Institute for Advanced Clinical Science Education. I am almost sure there is no institute like that anywhere within the Nigerian university system that's just devoted and dedicated, not to research like PRIMRAT, but to clinical sciences education in its entirety. And we are privileged to have had very committed professionals leading that field. We started a couple of years ago with Professor Kado Shumbade, who is a community physician like myself. And now we have Professor Leroy Edozen, who has been leading that pack for a couple of years now. And that is the foundation of which we are acting, to see if there's a gap, we must be bold enough to close that gap. If there's an opportunity to turn things around in a different way, we must be willing to do it. Professor Leroy Edozen, thank you, sir, for what you have done to move us to this moment. I have always told people Professor Leroy Edozen represents a very unique Nigerian in terms of the eclectic dimension of his qualification. Just think about it. He could fit into any faculty. From his bachelor in what now? In bachelor degree in basic medical sciences, to his master's in chemical pathology, to his fellowship of the College of ONG here, to West Africa, to the fellowship of Royal College, to master's, BSc, master's, PhD in law from University of London, and just keep on wrapping all of that together. And in fact, he's such a unique person to help us drive this agenda at this point. And so we are delighted to have you on board to partner here. Let me quickly say a few more words about our university, because I know it's going to be a short meeting. We are a multi-campus university. Right now we have like 5 campuses. We have a campus in Akure. We have a campus in Bolonduro, between Akure and here. That used to be a school of public health. We have, in this town, we have 3 campuses. One of them is the larger medical campus we are now. We have the Odoshida campus, which caters for our sciences and some part of our Faculty of Allied Sciences. And we have a new permanent campus, our main campus. We don't call it permanent because all our campuses are permanent. We have a main campus that we are developing right now, that a couple of businesses are going on. This campus will remain the hub for the clinical science education, and all that has to go with clinical science and data sciences. So we are delighted, like I said, to have you here this morning. And we do hope that as we rub minds, we've been rubbing minds on this for quite some months. Today is just the epic point in that interaction. And so as we take time again to rub minds today, and we come to that very critical moment of signing this MoU, I would like to assure you that our university is committed to this agenda beyond any doubt. Whatever we have in terms of resources and whatever we have in terms of capacity, you can be well assured that we will fully deploy them to support this program. We know that this is just a point to start. We do hope that in the years to come, we will all look back to today and be very proud that we are part of this history that changed the dynamics and the dimensions of understanding when it comes to the whole issue of health professional education landscape in Nigeria. When our teachers are better, our students will be better. When our products are better, our nation will be better. And therefore, it's not just a watershed in the life of us who are working in this sector, but also in our nation, because it portends a better tomorrow for Nigeria. I always tell people, like I was yesterday, where I was speaking at a forum on Democracy Day, that I believe strongly in Nigeria. I believe strongly that it's a great nation, and I believe it's a nation with greater future. But it takes all of us who are here today to continue to work for a better future. So we want to welcome you as great partners in progress, and we do look forward to a very wonderful day today. Thank you and welcome.
Sponsored by the National Chairman, Nigerian Chapter of the West African College of Physicians, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Medaiki Jeremiah Aboy. A round of applause, please.
Thank you very much. The Vice Chancellor of University of Medical Sciences, Ondo, other principal officers of the university, deans of faculties, directors of centers, my colleagues from the West African College of Physicians, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that the West African College of Physicians is here at this time to forge an academic partnership with UNIMED. Before I decided I was going to talk, I have hinted my friend that I would have loved to have behaved like Professor Dozin yesterday. They was able to name everybody by name. Had I changed my mind, because I couldn't do that. Let me quickly say that, just like the VC pointed out, we started this discussion over a year now, and we are happy to be here today. I will try to just address 3 points: why we are here, what we expect, and I will close. Academic partnership, as we all know, is usually a partnership between a university and another university or a university-level institutions, always designed to address the need to produce a cadre of resources, health resources or human resources, in our case, health resources. While we are an international organization, well-versed in training in the specialties of professions in medicine across the West African region, we have also have an established programs in fellowship. And what we seek this morning is a fellowship-linked PhD program. What do we mean by that? We know that when you look at how the fellowship is designed and delivered, we'll probably very much qualify for what people call professional PhDs or doctorate degrees. However, we understand that there are actually things in traditional PhD that will actually benefit our fellows. We believe too this might have informed the decision of the Nigerian University Commission to have issued its current policy that encourages people with fellowship to also see the need to add the PhD. You, on the other hand, you are quite vast in providing educations in the traditional level fellowship PhD, which we know tend to focus very much on theoretical academic research. We believe there are benefits in these two to be able to come together, hence our presence here. We want to thank you very much for accepting to partner with us. We know that to have a very good academic collaborations, we will have to look at a number of factors. First and foremost is the issue of what are the core components of an effective collaboration. Of course, we need an organized time and task spelled out. We also need very much what we call the use of time effectively. Then there's also the need for mutual respect of the team members. studies have shown that successful strategic collaborations usually address a number of things, among which are one, the need to explicitly state the expectations and goal of the collaboration. Also, the strategies to leverage on diverse expertise and resources. And then, of course, the need to forge a culture of trust and respect. And equally important is the need to provide guidelines for whatever work is being done in respect of intellectual properties, and also what I may call authorship. In this case, they are also explicitly stated. But equally important is the need for an open and effective communication. Having said this, our own expectation here is to have a collaboration that will do two key things. The first is for us to successfully deliver on a fellowship-linked PhD, and the second is to develop a model that we can actually share with other countries in West Africa. The college itself has 13 chapters. A chapter is actually the program of the college in each country, and Nigeria is the largest. And for English-speaking West African countries, they more or less look upon us to see what model we put in place. So we are not only trying to implement a fellowship-linked PhD, but also to create a model that we can market to other West African countries. And I can say this is an opportunity for us to work together in this area. Why do I say it's a fellowship-linked PhD? We believe that when you look at our program, we've substantially covered a lot of contents, the credit of which are very relevant to traditional PhD. We want a situation whereby at the time that a fellow enrolls into the fellowship, his courses are actually have the credit that can be transferred, and at the same time, he should be able to finish the PhD before the fellowship. We believe if we can succeed in crafting a program like this, it will serve the Nigerian society very well, it will serve the West African society very well, and we believe it will have a very big impact internationally. Therefore, as we actually look at what we want to put into place, we know that the two institutions have well-defined curricula, they have well-defined method of delivery of their content, they have well-defined method of assessment and certification. I'm sure we will look at areas that we will marry all this and come up with a program that it will be a first of its kind in West Africa and probably in the world. And with this, I want to say thank you very much for the opportunity, and we look forward to seeing that we work towards achieving these defined goals. Thank you very much.
A round of applause for the chairman. The high point of this gathering, that is the Memorandum of Understanding. Next is the highlights of the memorandum by Barrister Olamide Samuel Adeloye, the Principal Legal Officer for the university. A round of applause for him.
Hello, sir. Principal officers here present, deans and directors of institutes, our distinguished guests here present. We are here today to sign a memorandum of understanding between the University of Medical Sciences and the West African College of Physicians. The MoU is for the training of PhD students in clinical sciences. Of course, the obligations of the parties are both spelled out. This has gone through a lot of interfacing between both parties. There are obligations of both parties. We have curriculum determination and teaching. We also have ensuring the quality of the program. And from time to time, we would also have to continue to interface to ensure that the program is successful. I'm sure, of course, everybody here in the university and in the West African College of Physicians has come into contact with this MoU, so I don't really need to go into details. So I think that's about that. Thank you very much.
MoU between the university and the West African College. So be
Thank you very much. Relationship and produce high quality human resource for both Nigeria and West Africa region.
On behalf of the University of Medical Sciences, proud of Nigeria's first specialized medical university, I'm pleased to present the Otomi French partnership and the entire West African community.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the West African College of Physicians, I appreciate this partnership. It's my prayer that this partnership will actually deliver on their expectations. Okay. Dr. Jeremiah Aboy Madaki. I am the National Chairman and College Vice President of the West African College of Physicians, Nigerian chapter. The West African College is a specialized agency of the West African Health Organization charged with the responsibility of training postgraduate medical doctors. And it trains doctors in 6 specialties of family medicine, community health, laboratory medicine, internal medicine, psychiatry, and pediatrics.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. The memorandum of understanding signed with UNIMED today, what do you think, how far do you think it will go in training and a partnership with the school so that maybe in a few years' time we see the outcome of it?
What just took place here is an epoch-making event because the partnership we sought with the University of Medical Sciences here is actually to provide a PhD that will make available a set of skills that are complementary to the professional training of medical doctors in Nigeria in particular and West Africa in general. We already have what we call the fellowship program, which is the professional training of the doctors to allow those human resources provide high quality services. And so what we seek in the PhD is to look at those complementary skills that could actually further enhance what we do as professional doctors.
Like my colleague, the chairman of the West African College of Physicians, Nigerian chapter, have said, this is an epoch-making occasion, and we are very proud as Nigeria's first specialized medical and sciences university to be coming to this partnership. In terms of what it means and how ready we are, I can assure you we are very ready. The University of Medical Sciences, Ondo, is the first university that the West African College of Physicians is signing this with. Let me also say proudly that I'm also a fellow of the West African College of Physicians and the specialty of community medicine and public health. And so we know what fellowship is all about. All the consultants we see in Nigeria and across West Africa are fellows. That's what makes them experts in that field. But increasingly in a world where there is a greater drive for science research components, that's where this complementary partnership is coming in. And we are very ready as a university because we have the resources in terms of human resources, we have the resources in terms of the infrastructure. The curriculum to implement is ready based on the NUC criteria. And I need to say that we have also started test running this, so to say, because we have the pilot program. We are proudly, again, the first university, in fact, the only university in West Africa to have signed a partnership with the West African College of Surgeons, which is the complementary, the brother to the West African College of Physicians. So we've rolled out already the PhD program. We have over 50 people now on that PhD program. And the West African College of Physicians coming in just will deepen, will strengthen, and will broaden what we're doing. The advantage in this partnership is that now if people come to do this postgraduate, they don't need to rely on just our own staff to be the supervisor. We are bringing in all expertise that's available in West African College of Physicians, and that's a huge one to support this. So if you are a student here in your PhD program and you are a fellow or you are in a fellowship program, anyone in your specialty across West African College of Physicians can supervise you. So it's a program that is beyond what you can get in any university.
because of that unique partnership and strength we are bringing in, and the wide dimension of experience and expertise that's going to come to this partnership. So it's a partnership like none, and it's a partnership that will drive the air professional education landscape in Nigeria forward, and everyone will be a winner, not just our university and the South African College of Physicians, but our nation and the entire countries across West Africa.
Thank you very much.
I'm Adesegun Fatusi. I'm the Vice Chancellor of University of Medical Sciences, Ondo, proudly Nigeria's first specialized health and medical science university. And I'm a professor of community medicine and public health.